So, la 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 la. Welcome back to Suja South Africa. I'm Nikki Nash, as always, in proud collaboration with Change Cars and all things motoring. Today, you guys join me inside a vehicle I really do like. This is the Volvo EX30, and for now, I am not driving because there is so much that I need to cover in terms of the interior of this vehicle. And for that, and for me to focus, I need to be sitting and the car needs to be stationary. But you know how we do it this side. I'm going to take you through the exterior look of the vehicle, what I think about that, the interior look of the vehicle, and overall, is this car worth the money, and whether to get this over the EX40. Before we talk too much about the vehicle, if my voice and I sound a bit different, please bear with me. I am coming on with a cold or something along those lines, so please bear with me. Please bear with me. And yeah, so from the exterior look of this vehicle, I honestly like this vehicle. The front of the vehicle, I think this might just be the best, one of the best looking cars I've had on test in front. Like, I'm totally obsessed with the look of this vehicle up front. It looks so good. That LED daytime running lights up front, you get the headlamps as well integrated into that. It looks so good. And in this color, the white, man, I don't know, I've seen a black one. The black one doesn't do anything to me, but those white one, so the white one with the black accents around in terms of the front there by the, not the grill, but where the badge is, and the wheels as well, the color contrasting, the black side mirrors just look so good. And when you, the black roof as well, so there's just so much white and black that complement each other. And obviously with the tint this car has on it, with specifically focusing on the rear windows, it just makes the car look good. It stands out. Side profile of the vehicle, that's where for me it becomes a bit awkward, because like when you look at it from the front end of the vehicle, like the side profile up front, when you move to the back, from the front it looks big, and you're like, okay, it's getting big, and then when it goes to the back, it just has like a slump, like it becomes flat and it becomes a bit boxy, and that's where I kind of don't like the vehicle. And the rear end of the vehicle for me just looks weird. At the same time, it looks good, but it looks weird. I know I am contemplating by me saying, I'm contradicting myself by me saying it looks good but it's weird. But for me, I do like the look of that. It's actually unique but weird. Yeah. Then the important part of this vehicle is when you get into the interior of the vehicle. So I did say in the EX40 review that this one has a whole new different infotainment system. It's using a different software. It's using the more updated software coming from Volvo. But my problem with this vehicle, and I think it'll be a problem across owners as well, there is no button in this car. The only button that you will see in this car is the two here in the middle, which are for your windows. But I'll get to that. Let's go back to the fact that there's no button. So everything that you need to do is within the touchscreen infotainment system. So you get your Google software here. So the car doesn't have Android Auto because it's already kind of like Android Auto. So you just need to sign in, download the apps you need. The car does have Apple CarPlay. I've read about it, but I've not connected. I've not been able to connect the Apple CarPlay, so I've just been using normal Bluetooth and using the Google Maps that the car has. So it also has a router as well, so you can connect the car to the router and get the instant connection. You can download Waze, you can download all the things that you will need, YouTube Music, all those type of things. Then this is where I don't like the car. So for every single thing for the vehicle, whether you want to open your, for example, opening the glove box, there's no button. You press in the infotainment system. Finding out the car status, like your mileage, is in the infotainment system. Days to service is in the infotainment system. And then you move on to things like your driving, right? Everything like your pilot assist, your steering assist, all those things are within the infotainment system. To activate your one pedal drive is in the infotainment system. Then there's performance all-wheel drive, that's in the infotainment system. So why I'm touching on that is, for example, if I'm at a robot and I want to quickly accelerate, although those cars can do it, sometimes I want the performance all-wheel drive. I don't want to be faffing around the infotainment system to get to that mode. Because what if I'm, not that I condone it, but what if I'm racing with another car on the side of the road or whatever, you know, or I just want to be quick now and all the stuff. So it takes a bit of time for you to get into here. So everything is in here. For example, also, if you want to adjust your mirrors, your side mirrors, you need to click in the infotainment system, click the left mirror or the right mirror, then control with the steering wheel buttons for that. So that's something I don't like. Like, why is everything within the infotainment system? And then because everything is in the infotainment system, your park, reverse, drive shows you here on the infotainment system. The speed is also on the infotainment system. So if your speed is on the infotainment system, that means this car doesn't have a digital instrument cluster up front. 100%. It does not have that. The only thing it has is this boxy thing that has like a red dot, which is essentially a camera. This camera is always looking at you, focusing on you, whether you're paying attention to driving. If not, it will make a beep, like it'll beep, it'll boop boom. You'll hear it when I'm driving the vehicle. You hear it, it'll beep, it'll do all those things, which I don't like, because as much as you can switch it off, when you switch off the car, well, you can't switch off the car, but when you switch off the car, it's it's on again. So I don't like that about the vehicle. And I'll speak about when I say you switch off the car. What do I mean when I say you switch off the car? So this car, the key does not have a button. The key just writes Volvo. It's a black box shape style. The key does not have a button, as you can see there in the video. The key does not have a button. So to lock the vehicle, you press the key against the door. The vehicle will lock. To unlock the vehicle, you do the same thing, or you can put your hand on the driver door. So for keyless entry, it'll do that. There is keyless start, because you don't put the key in anything. There is no start button. So when you get into the vehicle, just pop the car into drive, the car goes. So the car is essentially always on. That's one thing you need to know. And then if you don't want to lock your vehicle like that, you can just, when you have the key with you, walk away. The car will lock by itself. When you come back, the car will unlock by itself. But you can switch that stuff off if you want to be safe. Although I don't think there's anyone that's gonna want to steal a Volvo in South Africa specifically. But yeah, that's with regards to the vehicle. In terms of the interior, the seats as well. You get these lovely seats. They are part leather, but it's not actual leather. It's I don't know what Volvo calls it, but it's not actual leather. And then you also get this material which looks like jean style material, or denim. Yeah, denim is the correct word. Looks good, feels good, and the color of it, they went with the blue. Blue showing electricity, because we look at the color blue, we think of power, electricity. So then focusing on the storage departments inside the interior of the vehicle, there's actually so much storage departments. So on the door, you get door bins, which actually quite big, and they're quite hidden as well. They do hide whatever you do put there, if you do put it lying down. Then on the center console, there is storage underneath here, which you can close and open. You can put things inside, close and open. You will see my things there as well. And then here you get this is actually like your pop out cup holders. So you can actually hide the cup holders away, show them, or put it in one cup holder mode or two cup holder mode. So the problem about that, the fact that it opens and hides, it makes it that there is no this part here in the middle by the armrest. In normal cars, the armrest opens and then you can pop things inside. In this one, this part doesn't open because of the cup holder slider. Actually slides into that space where it will essentially open. But yeah, it's unique. That Volvo did this. It's unique. I'm not mad at it, but it's unique. I'll just keep it at that. It's unique. I'm not mad at it. And then the seats as well. The seats are part leather, part denim. This leather is actually not actual leather. I don't know what Volvo calls it, but Volvo's going through. They're being very saving the world type of company right now. That's why there's so many. They're introducing so many electric cars. They're going through that way. So the efficient, eco, green. That's Volvo for you. So the part leather and the denim feel here on the seat is in blue, because when you think of the color blue, you think of electricity. So that blue is on the seats, on the door, on the dashboard. And speaking of the dashboard, this vehicle does not have speakers on the doors. It has this Harman Kardon soundbar up front, and you know what? In terms of bass, the soundbar knocks. But when you move on to the back, there is actual speakers for the rear seats at the back, for the rear occupants at the back, not seats, rear occupants at the back. So it's interesting. I like the way Volvo went with this whole soundbar thing in front. It's unique of them, but the sound bangs for me. It gets the job done. Moving on to the back, this is where it's kind of an issue. So in terms of space, the rear legroom is not the best of legrooms for me. Sitting behind myself is not the best, but it goes again to how the size of the vehicle. Also at the back, there's not much for you at the back. So all you get is your window switches, which are in the middle you hear about the armrest at the back. That's your window switches. You get two Type C ports as well, and then that's it. There is no center armrest or center console where you can put your drinks holder or anything like that. So if you have drinks in the vehicle and you're at the back, you need to make sure you have to hold it, or maybe put it on the door bins on the side if it won't move around. Other than that, there is no cup holders at the back. Let's hop back into the front of the vehicle because I'm gonna tell you about the window switches up front. So the window switches is two of them, and then there's a lock, unlock, and a rear. So I can control the two windows in front, and then if I want to open the windows at the back, I need to click the rear button. It will light up in orange, and then I can control the rear windows. Then if I now control the front window, I need to click the rear button. It will not light up anymore, and then I'll control the front windows. Then the boot capacity. How is the boot? This is a question that I had said when I had the XC40 recharge, because it's more expensive and all that stuff, and I will speak about the pricing on those vehicles. The boot for me, you remember if you guys watch the videos on the channel, I always gauge the boot capacity via my ball bags, because my ball bags are actually quite big, and my kit bags and my cam chain, all that stuff, and all those things fitted. Although it was on the tight side of things, but it still fitted. And considering the size of the vehicle, I was actually quite impressed that I was able to take all those things with no problem. So the boot capacity is okay. I'm gonna put the boot capacity in liters on the screen, and yeah, I think I've covered every point in terms of the interior that I wanted you guys to really focus on. If not, I'll most probably remember when I'm driving. But for now, let's go for the drive, and let me tell you why this car is the fastest car in South Africa for under R1,000,000, I think. So as we're going for a drive, remember I did say if I remember something in terms of the interior, I will remember. And as I'm about to drive, as I'm adjusting the seat, I remember I didn't tell you about the seat adjustment. So the seat adjustment, it's one knob, and that knob adjusts your seat. That's one. If you want to adjust your lumbar is how your seat cushion you want it to be pushing you, or you want it to be relaxed. You can adjust it on that same thing. You just need to press the middle button, and then you adjust. So very minimal from Volvo. I like that about the vehicle. But let's go for a drive, and let me tell you why this car is so fast and why I'll take it over Volvo XC40 Recharge. So the one I'm in is the one with the twin motor. So this is the last number for my audience. This is the last number, and it's called, you know how we do it this side, it's a full spec. It's the last number. It's the full spec is the Ultra one. So it's the Ultra, being the top of the range. You get these 20-inch alloy wheels, which look the business. You get this panoramic glass roof. It does not open or close because it's always closed. Yeah, it doesn't open, and it doesn't have a sunshade or anything like that. So it's always, what you guys are seeing now, it's always like that. You can't, there's no curtain to close it or anything like that. So I feel like maybe that's where a flop for Volvo, but I know most probably in the future they're gonna do something about that. But on the performance side of things, you put your foot down, this car gives you instant power. So you're looking at a 64 kilowatt hour battery here, and to charge, depending on the charging station that you use, the one that I use, I've been charging this vehicle from like most of the time from like 20% to just under 100, because I never, not never, but I hardly ever charge to 100%, and it takes me between 40 minutes to 50 minutes. If you're charging at home, it'll take you overnight, which is like 8 hours or so, with an 11 kilowatt hour wall box. Then on the power side of things, listen to me carefully before you guys want to jump to conclusions. Listen to me carefully. This car produces 315 kilowatts, 543 newton meters of torque. And you can see how compact this car is. It does that, with those numbers, it does 0 to 100 kilometers in 3.4 seconds. That is fast. And for reference, right? Because you guys are most probably asking yourself, 3.4 seconds. Those that don't know, what does that mean? What do you mean? Like, can you name a car that those car can go with 0 to 100? Easy. Audi R6, Audi RS3. Can moor an Audi RS3 robot. Can moor a BMW M3 robot. The new C63 SE Performance, the 2-liter one. Not moor it, but it'll be there with it. I don't think it would moor it, but it would be there with it. I'm just trying to show you guys how quick this vehicle is. And over the week I've had it, because people don't know this vehicle, and I do believe people haven't seen this vehicle too much on the roads because of the attention this car's been getting. There's a specific vehicle that was doing the robot shenanigans on my side, And then I just did, you know what, let me just show you, let me give Volvo the good PR, because they already have good PR in terms of safety. Let me give them more PR and just do something with their vehicle. And you know what, I just did that one pull. After I did that one pull, that guy came on my side and stopped. He's like, oh brother, what car are you driving? I'm like, it's a Volvo. So in terms of power, this car gives you so much, and those cars is limited to 182, as Volvo says. I didn't find out. As Volvo says, I don't do such speeds. So the car is limited to 182, and the reason being, well, I'd like to think the reason being is limited there is because imagine you could do that, you could do more than that. You will easily chow your battery. And I've noticed that with this vehicle because I've had it over the past 6 days. And the first day I got the vehicle, because of the power, I was having a lot of fun. I was just doing all the robot stuff, driving the vehicle hard, because I was like, you know what, this is actually a fun car to drive. Then I went to charge, and this is before I actually found out the range of the vehicle. So by that time I didn't know what a full charge gives you, right? I went and charged. I charged the vehicle at full charge at 90%. It has told me that I only have 220 kilometers of range. And I was like, what? That can be. And then I just drove the vehicle like that. I got home, I read about the vehicle, and it's claimed at over 400 kilometers. Then I realized that when I was going to go charge the vehicle, I was driving the vehicle hard. So that led to the car thinking, because of the way you're driving, I will only be able to give you 220. And then after that charge, I changed my driving style. I started driving the car normally, like a normal, sane person, not like a 24-year-old boy racer and all those type of things. And then when I went to charge the second time, I charged to just over 80%. And at that time, it was telling me that I have 320 kilometers of range. So I was like, okay, it's because of the way you drive, the car will gauge how many kilometers it can give you because of the way you drive. So if you drive like a madman, it'll give you madman numbers. If you drive like a good person, it'll give you good numbers. So there's like 4 model lineups. There's one with a smaller battery which gives you more range. Then there's this big boy that has 2 batteries, less range but a lot of power, so I think in this model range, it depends on you as a person, where you want to go, what you're going to be doing with the vehicle. Personally, do I think it's worth it, this one? I like speed, so yes. I'm going to say yes, I think it's worth it. But if you're the person that you're not really phased about speed, but you like the overall look of the vehicle, I think the one with the single motor is more suited for you. And speaking about which one is more suited for you, if you're looking at an XC40 recharge, right? Sharp, go have a look at it. But I personally would tell you, try avoid the XC40, because of, in the year 2024, and you get into an XC40 recharge and you get into this, you're going to feel underwhelmed in the XC40. And I mentioned this in my review of the XC40, that they're already using an old software. That's one. The one that I was driving has less power than this one, doesn't look as good as this. That's two. And it's more expensive. So I'm trying to find myself justifying the price of the XC40, because the XC40 that I had with less power is 50,000 rand more than this one, and this has more power, looks better. Yeah, it is slightly smaller than an XC40. That's the only disadvantage, but it has the whole new Volvo infotainment system, the software, so this can actually last you. And the problem is, if you get the XC40 recharge, right, a year or two from now, Volvo is going to bring a new XC40, and then you're going to be stuck with an old version XC40 instead of a newer XC30. But that's just my 2 cents about the vehicle. I do like this XC30. The only thing that I really, really don't like, and it actually grates me so much, is the fact that there is no buttons. Everything is in the infotainment system. Your speed is in the infotainment system. Your volume is in the infotainment system. Your climate control is in the infotainment system. Your wipers are in the infotainment system. Although you can still adjust them on the stalk here. Another thing, lights as well, right? So the cars currently on automatic lights, right? That's fine, no more. So if I park the vehicle, right, and I want to sit in the vehicle, sometimes I want to switch off the lights. No, I can't use the knob, whatever. I need to go into the infotainment system, go to lights, press whatever, or press off there. And I'm like, why do I need to go through so much drama just to switch off lights? So, and you know, the channel is called Switch Off. That's why we want to switch off as many things as we can, but I don't want to faff around the infotainment system to switch off those things. But that's just my 2 cents about those vehicles. So the price of those vehicles is is just over R1 million. And if you take this vehicle's price, the one that I'm in, the top of the range, and you finance it over a period of 5 years, which is 60 months, at an interest rate of 12.25% with no deposit, no balloon payment, you're looking at paying 23,600 Rand. And yet again, I'm gonna leave that question to you guys. Is it a lot of money? Is it not a lot of money? Would you buy this vehicle? Would you not buy this vehicle? And I've covered everything you need to know about this vehicle. Tell me if there's something that you'd like to know that I was not able to cover, or make sure to comment. I'm gonna leave everything you need to know about the vehicle that I didn't cover in the description box below. But from City South Africa, in proud collaboration with Change Cars and all things motoring, I'm Nicky Nash as always, and you know what I'm gonna do. I'm signing out.